You were given an opportunity. So you were given an opportunity to go to ISF, and you said, "I don't want to do that." Right?
I was kind of scared and didn't know, like, with the courts.
Well, I mean, ISF would be better than prison.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot of females in there that don't have a stack of write-ups like this.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't call officers bitches. We're looking at 2 weeks ago. Bitch, you've been waiting all day to just write me up. You don't. So you're on felony probation and you're using drugs, knowing it could send you to prison, and you don't think that's a problem. Mr. Chambers, in cause number 2137015, I have a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. Shows that you were placed on probation September 14th of 2022 for the offense of aggravated assault, family violence, second-degree felony, and that was a 10-year deferred probation. Is that correct? This motion alleges that you violated your probation. Count 1 alleges that you failed to report as directed to the probation department February 12th, February 28th, April 8th, and May 8th of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge? I mean, is that true or not true? I'm sorry. And then count 2 alleges that you failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of that. And is that true or not true? Count 3 alleges that you provided a urine sample January 22nd and April 22nd of 2024 that tested positive for tetrahydrocannabinol. And is that true or not true? THC, marijuana. Is that true? Count 4 alleges that you failed to provide verification of performing your community service hours. And is that true or not true? Count 5 alleges that you failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing the Battering Intervention and Prevention Program. Is that true or not true?
I have a certificate that I completed the program.
Okay. Count 6 alleges that you failed to submit to alcohol or drug screening March 22nd of 2024. And is that true or not true? So it'd be not true. 2, 6. Count 7 alleges that you failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing the Moral Recognition Therapy, the MRT program. Is that true or not true?
I don't know, because she told me to complete the bill class first, and I complete the bill class.
Okay, so I'll put not true for
I
7.
never start the other class, because that's the class you do at the program.
I'm not sure.
No, I never start the one on the class.
Okay. Count 8 alleges you're behind in your court-assessed fees as of May 21st, 2024 in the amount of $225. And is that true or not true?
True.
Did you enter your pleas of true to counts 1, 3, 4, and 8 freely and voluntarily? And did you plead true to those counts because they're actually true?
Yes.
I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Rojas?
Yes.
And do you fully understand them?
Yes.
And you understand if I follow the agreement you made with the district attorney, you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal.
Yes.
And the agreement that you've reached is for a cap of 5 years. So I can give you 5 years if I revoke your probation. I can give you less. It'll all depend on the information I receive at a sentencing hearing. Do you understand?
Yes.
State tenders number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Chambers is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 3, 4, and 8 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your case for sentencing so that the probation department can do an updated report. That'll give me more information about you, your case, and then we'll come back for sentencing. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. All right, are you Reagan Howard?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Howard, you're in cause number 2239924 on probation for deadly conduct, discharging a firearm, given a 6-year deferred probation, June 10th of 2024. Motion to revoke was filed. Entered pleas of true to counts, looks like 1 through 9, and then 11, 12, and 13. I've received an updated pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Defense has, Your Honor.
Mr. Kimler, go ahead.
Your Honor, Ms. Howard has struggled on probation, and I say that really, it is a kind of a polite way of saying she really hasn't done a whole lot while she's been on probation, except test positive for THC and alcohol. In talking with her and trying to understand why she didn't make more of an effort on probation, I think that she, again, and I'm perhaps sound like a broken record in these cases, but I do think she suffers from some underlying mental health issues that have to do with depression. The court would note in the report that she did have a stillbirth, and I think that that's affected her. Of course, that's not an excuse, but, and then, of course, she refused to help with ISF and substance abuse. And again, I'm not an expert, but I think part of her problems with the THC and alcohol stem from self-medication. And I do think she would benefit from ISF, substance abuse, and she, I believe, wants to do that now. But really, she needs treatment for depression and to get her serotonin levels back. I mean, again, I'm not an expert, but to get her serotonin levels balanced out. And perhaps she would perform better. I think she's had an opportunity since she's been in jail, I believe about 120 days, to reflect and introspect and gain some insight into her position here. And she's told me during our discussions that she does want to keep a felony off of her record. She does have plans for the future that a felony would compromise. And she really wants to do the probation as well.
Let's pause right here. This is the classic probation crossroads moment. She's already admitted to testing positive for THC and alcohol while on a 6-year deferred probation for deadly conduct, discharging a firearm. That's not minor. When a motion to revoke is filed, the judge can sentence her to the full term hanging over her head. The defense is framing this as untreated depression and self-medication. But here's the real legal tension. Is this a treatment issue or a compliance issue? Drop a comment right now. Do you think mental health explains probation violations, or is it just an excuse when someone gets caught?
She has a support system available. These women in the back are all here in support of her. So she has that going for her too. I think that she can do the probation, Your Honor. It's a question of whether she's sufficiently motivated. And again,
Well, why didn't you go to ISF? Why did you?
I'll let her.
You were given an
opportunity.
opportunity. So you were given an opportunity to go to ISF, and you said, "I don't want to do that." Right?
I was kind of scared and didn't know like what the courts was gonna tell me, and
Well, I mean, ISF would be better than prison.
yes, ma'am, I know that, but I was just scared I wanted to just buy me some time and actually do my probation, because I know I admit to all my wrongdoings. I wasn't ready to go to prison or ISF.
But you know it's going to be one or the other.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to not do all this and me go, okay, well, let's go right back out on probation.
Yes.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Just tell me what's going on with you and Miss Bobo.
I'm not gonna say she picks, but it's a lot of picking going on with that officer.
Do you think if you, from day one, were just following the rules,
Yes, ma'am.
that you probably wouldn't have that issue?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So, from what I can tell, from the time you got in there, you didn't follow the rules right.
Yes, ma'am.
She got frustrated, and then it's all right.
Well, I don't want her to interrupt you.
It's okay. She got frustrated probably pretty quick because her job is just to try to make you guys follow the rules. When you're not, then they're gonna pick because you're still not following the rules.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean? So if you did that from the beginning, she wouldn't have been watching you more closely. She wouldn't have been worried maybe so much. But if you continue to break the rules, it's her job to enforce those rules. That's not picking, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's enforcing the rules. She's just there to do her job. And I know there's a lot of females in there that don't have a stack of write-ups like this.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't call officers bitches. You know? We're looking at 2 weeks ago. Bitch, you've been waiting all day to just write me up. That's after all these pages of the other incident reports. She probably is waiting to write you up because she knows you're not going to follow the rules.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Mr. Smith?
Judge, it's seems like deja vu all over again. She has an issue with apparently cocaine, THC, and alcohol. She was offered a chance to take care of that, and she basically said, no, I'm not going. I don't want to go. I don't need help.
Do you think you
when
need
she
help?
faces-
With my depression, I don't think I have a drug problem.
You don't? So you're on felony probation and you're using drugs, knowing it could send you to prison, and you don't think that's a problem?
It's a problem.
Okay.
She was using THC up until the day before she was arrested. I think she's saying that now just so that she doesn't wind up going to prison. I don't think it's going to be effective in that.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. So I don't disagree with Mr. Smith. Ms. Howard, you're on probation for something very serious, but you don't have a lot of criminal history. I mean, you're one of the ones that should be able to complete this.
Yes, ma'am. And
You
I
know.
can.
I don't doubt that. I mean, you've got people here. Not everybody has people sitting here in the courtroom when they come to court.
Yes, ma'am.
Some people really are on their own, but you're not using that help through probation, through your family. And if you don't, you are going to end up in prison.
Yes, ma'am.
So here's what I'm going to do, and I don't want you to misunderstand anything I'm about to say, because this is your chance. And there's going to be a very important caveat to all of this, and that's going to include not getting in trouble. Talking about that in a minute. We're going to find that you entered your pleas of true to count 1 through 9 and 11 through 13 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true.
Yes, ma'am.
Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty and revoke your probation. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to continue you on probation. I am going to order that you enter and successfully complete the ISF, the substance abuse track.
Okay, this is huge. The judge is setting up what's called a conditional continuation of probation. Legally, she already has enough to revoke and send her to prison today. Instead, the court is about to extend one final lifeline through ISF. That's an intermediate sanction facility focused on substance abuse treatment. But listen carefully, when a judge says this is your chance, what they really mean is this is your last chance. Zero tolerance. Drug patch monitoring, no more write-ups. The margin for error just disappeared. Do you think this is smart rehabilitation or just delaying the inevitable?
You do every single thing you're supposed to. Just be quiet. Just be quiet for 2 weeks. Follow every single rule to a T, because you may not ever get out of our jail. I will check, and if I get a report, you will be back in here before you ever get to ISF. If you get to ISF and there's somebody that you think's picking on you and you get incident reports there, same thing. So it's time to figure out that at least while you're in custody, you got to do what everybody else says. When you're out of custody and you're not on a felony probation, then you get to follow your rules. Until then, you're on all of these rules. And it's not always you eat when they tell you to eat. You go to bed when they tell you to go to bed. You wear your jumpsuit the way they tell you to wear your jumpsuit. You don't talk when they tell you not to talk. You don't sit on a bunk when you're supposed to stand. All those things. It's like being treated like a kid, but that's what happens when you are on a felony probation. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Mr. Papania, in cause number 17-26995, I have a motion to revoke your community supervision. Shows that you were placed on probation October 2nd of 2017 for the offense of driving while intoxicated. And that was an 8-year sentence that was probated for 8 years. Is that correct? The motion alleges that you violated your probation. Count 1 alleges that you provided a urine sample July 28th of 2025 for tested positive for tetrahydrocannabinol. Is that true or not true? And then count 2 alleges that you failed to provide verification of attending program guidelines and rules of the mental health initiative caseload. Is that true or not true? Count 3 alleges that you failed to adhere to the conditions of the interlock program as required, in that May 21st, there was a high blood alcohol of 0.037. May 23rd, there was a high alcohol reading of 0.111. June 14th, 2025, there was a high alcohol of .034. And then June 21st of 2025, there was a high alcohol reading of .033. And is that true or not true?
True.
Count 4 alleges that you are behind in your court-assessed fees as of July 29th of 2025 in the amount of $4,730. Is that true or not true?
That's true.
Did you enter your pleas of true to counts 1, 3, and 4 freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you plead true to those counts because they're actually true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to those counts freely and voluntarily, find them true, find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to reset your case for an updated pre-sentence report. That will give me more information about you, your probation, what's been going on, and then we will come back at a later date for sentencing.
Your Honor, we're requesting a PSI bond. He has admitted to his violations. I will represent to the court that I know for a fact that he's moved from his area. He's actually, I didn't know this at the time, he's actually up in the Conroe area right where I have Lake House, and he's
Let me
working.
just stop you.
Okay.
DWI third, and the violations are high blood alcohol readings and testing positive for THC. So I want updated report to see what's going on. I'm not going to grant a bond at this time. If I continue probation, it would be likely with some type of treatment. I'm not sure. I just need to get some more information. So I'm not going to give a bond at this time.
Okay.
All right, you can go back with the bailiff. All right, are you Ashley Faye?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Faye was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the third-degree felony offense.
And there it is, 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Here's the legal reality. Because of the plea agreement cap, the judge couldn't exceed 5 years, even if she wanted to. That cap may have just saved this defendant from something much worse. But look at the pattern. Burglary, theft of a firearm, repeated probation violations, and now credit card abuse. At some point, the court shifts from rehabilitation mode to public safety mode. So I've got to ask, when someone keeps cycling through probation and parole, is more supervision the answer, or is incarceration the only thing left? Let me know what you think.
Credit or debit card?
It was me and my friend did.
Okay.
I didn't understand how she worded it.
Okay,
But yes, I did.
okay.
That's the only correction I had, Judge.
Any corrections, Mr.
Nothing that I
Nichols?
saw, Your Honor.
Also, in addition to that report, I have received looks like a few pages of jail incident reports that I've reviewed as well. Has everyone received those?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed with the argument.
Yeah, Judge, I think looking at her criminal history, it doesn't scream that this is somebody that deserves a chance on probation. That's what she's asking for, however. If you look at her comments on page 4, she's asking for Santa Maria. We've already talked about that a little bit this morning. She's indicated to the probation officer that she doesn't have an issue with drugs. She wants to go to Santa Maria for, I guess they've got a kind of like a cognitive track there also. But obviously, looking at the PSI report and everything that's in it, if they can give her help with drugs there, then that's certainly something that would be beneficial to her. She's ready, I think, to stop going to prison. She's realized that that's not something that she wants to continue to do. She's put herself in that position again today. But speaking with her, she's really ready to turn her life around. And regardless of what you do here today, Judge, she's asking for probation, but even if you send her to prison, I think she's made up her mind finally that this will be the last time that she comes into court for any kind of felony offenses. She's really hoping that you would give her the opportunity to go to Santa Maria and get that the tools that she needs to make the better decisions in her life.
When did you get off parole?
January.
January of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
So you committed these offenses. You got off parole and you thought, let's do it.
Actually, Judge, the offensive date predates her.
Oh, so you were on parole. There we go. I was looking at that possession of controlled substance that haven't been filed. So you were on parole. Mr. Nichols?
Judge, I'd urge the full range of the cap based on her criminal history.
Bless you.
In addition to the state jail priors that are listed in the indictment, there's also a burglary conviction.
Yeah, she got 7 years. That's the one she was
That's
on parole
correct.
for. So you've been convicted of a burglary of a habitation, a theft of a firearm, previous theft, previous theft, got probations on all of those, even at different times. It looks like you were on probation for the burglary and the theft of a firearm, and then someone, potentially me, I don't know whose court that was in, but here, left you on probation and gave you 2 probations on those new thefts, and then you violated all that after getting those, and now you're here. Okay. All right, Ms. Fay, okay, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of credit or debit card abuse. Find those prior offenses, convictions true. Going to sentence you to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You're lucky that you got the cap. Mr. Rojas did a good job. It's rare that you're going to get rewarded for more bad behavior. You already got a 7-year sentence. You probably should be getting worse than that instead of going down. So you will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Rojas. Good luck to you, ma'am. You can go back with the bailiff.